evening. Thanks for joining us. In galvanizing all of Nigeria's efforts to becoming a sub-regional Africa gas hub, optimal sectoral performance and efficient gas resource utilization, which touches the lives of ordinary Nigerians, is key. Matching orders by Chief Timothy Silva to the National Gas Expansion Program Committee, which just got inaugurated, Abule Egba is back again in the news for the usual unfortunate wrong reason. GMD Milikari was prompt to visit the scene and take steps for more robust all-encompassing security, including royalty involvement. Plus, NNPC GMD is harping on the delivery of gas to the domestic market, as well as on automation of processes for workable partnership alignments, and more than anything else, raise the ante while engaging the management and staff of NAPIMS and NETCO. That's talking about consistent delivery of top performance. Somehow, as we will find out in the details, fiesta and fitness have got something to do with this. My name is Akinya Agbejule. This is Oil and Gas for.
Also thank the Group Managing Director of NNPC for his consistency. I call him the game changer. I believe that you will pass as the most impactful GMD in the NNPC's history.
My brother, my sister, make we join the hand. To stop people and vandalization. When they allow government to build the road, hospital, provide light, build the school, and make Nigeria be like the country. Make we dey fighting people and vandalization. Make our country come better for we and we children. Me and you go stop this wahala. Oya, oya, oya. Make our country come better for we and we children. Make we dey fight this yama yama. Fight this yama yama. Make our country come better for we and we children. This message now from the Public Affairs Division of NNPC.
The federal government has inaugurated the National Gas Expansion Program Committee to steer the gas sector for optimal performance and efficient utilization of Nigeria's abundant gas resources. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timothy Silva, who inaugurated the committee in Abuja, said the country was on the verge of becoming a gas hub for the African sub-region.
The best way to make the industry relevant to the people is actually to touch their lives. This is a watershed moment, is the verge of a revolution. It has the capacity to create thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of jobs.
Chairman of the committee, Mohammed Ibrahim, promised the minister that his team would deliver on the mandates of the gas expansion program.
We assure you we'll do our ultimate best to ensure that we achieve the objective for which the program was set up.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has called for the support of traditional leaders and other stakeholders to curb oil theft and resultant incidents of pipeline fires. The Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malam Melekari, made the call during a visit to the scene of the pipeline fire at Ilekbo in the Abule Egba area of Lagos to assess the level of damage. Addressing newsmen after assessing the vandalized area, Malam Kiari, who described the health, environmental and other hazards caused by the vandals, especially the loss of lives, sued for synergy among security agencies, traditional leaders, residents and all well-meaning Nigerians in curbing the ugly trend.
This is happening daily. We are working with the security agencies to make sure that we reduce this to the barest minimum. We are also working with, particularly with the Nigerian Navy, the Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Police, and all other agencies of agencies of security, including the Department of State Service, to contain this to bare minimum.
Madam Kerry appealed to the Oba of Lagos, His Royal Majesty Oba Rilwan Akiolu I, to rally all the traditional leaders in the state to help secure the pipelines, stressing that collective effort was required to curb the menace. On his part, Oba Akiolu pledged his support to organize other Obas in the state to fight pipeline vandals to a standstill. Speaking on behalf of all the security agencies in Lagos, Flag Officer Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Oladele Daji, noted that the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies were scaling up their operations to ensure that pipelines across the nation were safe and secured and to avoid recurrence of pipeline fire.
Mobilized under Operation Awase all apparatuses of security agencies, the Nigerian Navy, Civil Defense, the police, the Army and the Air Force to support the NNPC to clear the NNPC pipelines right of way.
In a related development, the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Malamele Kyari, has decried the activities of pipeline vandals whose nefarious act touched parts of the corporation's pipeline network in Abuja-Egba area of Lagos State last Sunday, which claims lives and properties of some Nigerians. Fielding questions on an NTA morning talk show, Good Morning Nigeria in Abuja, the NNPC GMD regretted the recent incidents in Lagos, saying it was perpetrated in an open area, even as they urged Nigerians to always report miscreants who indulge in such nefarious activities to the security agencies.
And it's quite strategic that we can watch this, that nobody bothers to report, and looking at all the dangers that is associated with it, not just about losing petroleum product, not even about causing a challenge to national energy security, but above all, lives are lost. And indeed, what they are doing could have translated to loss of thousands of lives in that location. And everybody watches it as if it's a normal thing that is going on.
He stated that as part of measures to mitigate the incidences of pipeline vandalism, NNPC plans to deploy horizontal directional drilling technology, HDDT, as a check on the unwholesome incidences. The NNPC Group Managing Director, Malamele Kyari, disclosed that HDD technology will make it difficult for the vandals to easily vandalize the pipelines.
We are deploying technology to the maximum possibility that we can do. We are thinking of boring these pipes deeper. Yes, it is more expensive, but ultimately it is probably much more safer and much more economical to do that. And also to sustain the ongoing high-level collaboration between us and the security agencies.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PETAN, have pledged to partner on ways to bolster production activities in the nation's oil and gas sector. This resolution was reached when the chairman of PETAN, Mr. Bank Anthony Okorafor, led members of the association's executive to a meeting with the Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malamele Kyari, at the NNPC Towers, Abuja. Speaking at the meeting, the NNPC GMD stated that it was not possible for the industry to thrive without local service providers, stressing that there was therefore the need to ensure the development of local capacity.
While this is going on, we are engaging to resolve through some commercial processes to make sure that these businesses continue, and that's why we're able to deliver the 27 FID, and we're working on the Bonga South and a number of other projects that you have listed.
On his part, PETAN chairman, Mr. Bank Anthony Okorafor, pledged the association's support to help NNPC meet the target production growth of 3 million barrels per day and 40 billion barrels reserves by 2023.
Courage in starting cleanup of NPDC. Nobody has been able to do that. You have demonstrated great courage and focus in your job within a short time.
High point of the occasion was the decoration of the GMD with the PETAN brooch to mark his induction as an honorary member of the association.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Malamele Kyari, has urged two of the corporation's prime upstream entities, National Petroleum Investment Management Services, NAPIMS, and the National Engineering and Technical Company, NETCO, to brace up for greater challenges as the national oil company seeks corporate-wide enhanced performances across the value chain of its businesses. Speaking at separate town hall sessions with staff of the entities in Lagos, the NNPC GMD said as custodians and managers of the nation's highly priced upstream assets, the workforce must dedicate themselves to top-range performance at all times.
We must deliver gas into the domestic market, we must deliver gas to domestic industry so that ultimately prosperity can come to our country. And therefore, NABIL's role, you have to think today with gas division that what you have to pay attention to is to deliver gas into the domestic market.
Earlier in his welcome address, Mr. Musa Lawan, Group General Manager NAPIMS, assured the GMD that the corporate service unit has imbibed the fundamentals of KIA's novel TAPE initiative, which seeks to instill transparency, accountability, and performance excellence in everyday operation.
The TAPE initiative, entrenching transparency, accountability, and performance excellence in all our business processes to ensure that we are at par with the best practices, is a welcome idea.
Speaking on behalf of workers, Comrade Billy Ibe, chairman of the NAPIMS branch of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasan, affirmed the workers' support and unalloyed solidarity with the NNPC top management under the watch of KIA.
The TAPE initiative, our already started here in NAPIMS, implementing it in all our dealings and in all our processes.
At the town hall meeting with NETCO, Malam Kyari commended staff and management for impressive results of the company, even as it challenged it to increase the ante.
I rely on you to deliver on the exceptional expectation of this council and the NNPC. And I know this can be done. Your track record of delivering on time, on schedule, on courses, on parallel, but you can still do more.
Earlier in her presentation, Mrs. Catherine Iheme, MD NETCO, noted that despite some daunting challenges, NETCO has remained firm and steadfast in its quest to ensuring best practices in the engineering sector of the Nigerian oil and gas industry.
We are showing our commitment to Project A as we strive to be more transparent in all our processes, be accountable to our principals and stakeholders, achieve excellent service delivery, and attain overall improved business performance in the year 2020.
The Nigerian Pipelines and Storage Company, NPSC, one of the downstream subsidiaries of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, generated 44.4 billion naira in its 2018 financial year, representing a 26 percentage points performance increase over its 2017 figure. Chairman of the board of the company and NNPC Chief Operating Officer, Corporate Services, Engineer Farouk Said, made the disclosure during the first annual general meeting of NPSC at the NNPC Towers in Abuja.
The JT operations, we have experienced 181% performance, which means our target has been exceeded by 81%.
On his part, the managing director of NPSC, Mr. Luke Anele, said the company will deploy the horizontal directional drilling technology to further secure the pipelines, stressing that the NPSC ensured efficient supply and distribution of petroleum products, leading to a zero fuel queue during and after the 2019 Yuletide.
We will continue to build on our performance. Where we are today, we will continue to grow. We are now going to embark on technological drive to improve on our services.
In its commitment to transform into a profit-driven going concern, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has reiterated its determination to surpass the expectations of Nigerians in service delivery. NNPC Group General Manager Corporate Planning and Strategy, Mrs. Orishemeyiwa Eyesa, made this known during the 2020 Budget Implementation Workshop for Budget and Planning Officers in the NNPC. Mrs. Eyesa stated that the ongoing transformational journey requires the corporation to remain efficient in its service delivery in order to attract more foreign direct investment into the country.
It is the responsibility of all budget owners to ensure that the budget is implemented efficiently, effectively, economically, and transparently.
Speaking in a similar vein, the Group General Manager Treasury, Dapo Shegun, applauded some NNPC subsidiaries, such as Integrated Data Services Limited, IDSL, National Engineering and Technical Company Limited, NETCO, and the Nigeria Gas Company, NGC, for posting positive bottom lines, and called on other subsidiaries to emulate their strategies. Earlier, the General Manager Corporate Planning Department, Mr. Nathaniel Olaoye, said the workshop was organized to enable planning officers to calendarize their operating and capital expenditures so as to reduce costs in the corporation's 2020 budget.
We pass the information from top management on the expectation of management. We pass the information about cost reduction. We pass the information of how the tools we have available in the system, how we are going to use it very well.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Malamele Kyari, has identified physical and mental fitness as essential to the attainment of top performance by the management and staff of the corporation. Malam Kyari spoke at the closing ceremony of the 12th edition of the NNPC Sports Fiesta held at the Chevron Recreational Center, Bagada, Lagos.
Being here also means that it gives you opportunity to interact with other shared experiences from our colleagues across the corporation.
In her remarks, Mrs. Oyeyemi Ladipo, Group General Manager, Human Resources Division, said the Fiesta had lived up to expectations, providing fitness and staff bonding.
Actually, in preparation for NOGIC, where we put all our staff athletes together in individuals and in teams to prepare for the forthcoming NOGIC.
Mrs. Ladipo, who said the 12th edition of the Sports Fiesta tapped physical and mental fitness for increased productivity, created an avenue for management to have a good relationship with other staff across the country, commended members of the organizing team for a successful outing.
Oh, well, I just won a gold medal under the golf sports for the just completed 12th NNPC Sports Fiesta.
Despite the rigorous job they always exercise in the office, they still deem it fit because of the physical fitness which NNPC has been preaching in terms of health and environment and making sure that you are healthy at every point in time.
You're welcome to another enlightening feedback segment of the program. My name is Julia Auta. A gas cylinder is a canister that stores liquefied petroleum gas, which we use in our homes and eateries for cooking. On today's edition, our roving camera is asking the public a very important question. How would you know when your gas cylinder has expired? And we equally bring you expert perspective on how you can easily identify a gas cylinder that needs replacements.
I can't find any place that is written in the cylinder gas. So honestly, I don't know.
The cylinder expire. I didn't even know that. So
I don't know that the gas cylinder or have expiring dates. That is the truth about it.
I haven't really taken notice whether it expires or not. So I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I don't hear the idea. I don't even know whether the gas cylinder has expiring date or not.
But we would actually just like to know when exactly the best before of a cylinder is and how to dispose of it after use.
It's simple. First is that if your cylinder does not have its country of origin, its date of manufacture, embossed on it, please go and throw away that cylinder. That cylinder is substandard. Now, if it has such information embossed on it, just calculate from the date of manufacture, 15 years. Once it is 15 years, you need to replace that cylinder.
The original cylinder, you will find it has expiry date on it. But the way you know the expiry date, it is not written like as in other ingredients that they will put so date of January 20 this. It's done in quarter. Quarter 1 is A, quarter 2 is B, quarter 3 is C, and then October to December is usually D. They don't write down the complete year. So on a cylinder, if you say on the neck, if you look around, you will see it engraved D20, meaning that this cylinder will expire from October to December of 2020. That is one aspect. Then the other aspect is it is engraved. The cylinders, it is engraved. There are those fake cylinders you will see. Instead of having it engraved on the neck, you will see they write the same D20, but this time around it's written in paint. So once it is written in paint, you should know it's a fake cylinder.
Do yourself good by checking your gas cylinder from time to time to ascertain if it is still good for use. And that's all we have for you today on this segment. Please stay with us for the other segments of the program.
Hello, thanks for joining us on this segment. My name is Faith Ayuba. Did you know that on the 17th February 1958, the first cargo of Nigeria's crude oil was exported aboard SSH Mephiusis? Did you know that the sole concession right granted to Shell was reviewed in 1959 and exploration rights were then granted to other companies? Did you know that with the successful entry of new oil and gas players, the country's daily crude oil production at the dawn of independence stood at 17,000 barrels, 3 times the original production level in 1958? Nigeria's crude oil production received a further boost with the advent of offshore production in 1964 on the Okan offshore field in the then Midwestern region, now Edo and Delta states. Did you also know that in 1965, the first refinery was built in Port Harcourt by Shell with an initial capacity of 38,000 barrels per day, which was later upgraded to 60,000 barrels per day? Now you know. Please keep watching.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices fell as concerns that the spread of a respiratory virus from China could lower fuel demand if it stunts economic growth in an echo of the SARS epidemic nearly 20 years ago. Brent crude futures were down 88 cents or 1.39% at $62.33 per barrel, having earlier touched their lowest since December 4. They lost 2.1% in the previous session. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI futures fell 89 cents or 1.57% to $55.85 per barrel after earlier falling to the lowest since December 3. The potential for a pandemic has stirred memories of the sudden acute respiratory syndrome outbreak in 2002 to 2003, which also started in China and dented economic growth and caused a slump in travel. The U.S. Bank maintained its forecast for Brent to average $67 per barrel in the first quarter and $64.50 per barrel throughout 2020. Amid all the demand concerns, however, supply remains plentiful. U.S. crude stockpiles rose last week by 1.6 million barrels against expectations of a drop, the American Petroleum Institute said. Thanks for watching. I am Owigo Okolo.
80% of our youths that are working today are engaged by NPDC and NPDC contractors. Most of the elders who still leave home today to do security job are working also with NPDC. Scholarship, most of our children are being engaged, are being given scholarship by NPDC.
NNPC, we touch your lives in many positive ways.
That's about the package on oil and gas forum for this edition. NNPC commiserates once again with the victims of the Abule Egba Inferno. All of us are victims one way or the other. Let's take responsibility and take action. See you next week. Bye.